It could be, though. It could be. 90 seconds. Oh, but we'll never know, because PoE 2 is gonna come, and we'll all fall asleep by the time that PoE 1 content's released. Nah, they surely won't do it before. No, they always do. They always do PoE 2 before. Always. Every time they've done PoE 2 before. No. And then in the Q&A, the last time they did PoE 1 first and then PoE 2. Because the last time before that, they did PoE 2, then PoE 1. Not good. Nobody cares. Game's not coming out for 6 more years. PoE 3 will come out before PoE 2. Okay. Here we go. 10 seconds. Hi. I'm Chris Wilson. Log in. Check. Mod check.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games. Welcome to GGG Live.
They were early.
Today, we're going to show you an exclusive reveal of Path of Exile Settlers of Kalguur, which launches next week on July 26th.
Let's go.
Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream, so make sure you follow the
They better fucking work this time.
to claim your Corsair back attachment.
They did not work for me last time.
In today's stream, we will take you on a deep dive into the
So
new
there's
Settlers of
currency,
Kalguur
trade market, balance improvements, endgame improvements, campaign improvements, quality of life, console native, or I'm noticing
endgame improvements,
whole
some further additions to the campaign, and
not
quality of life
a lot
features.
of content.
We'll then talk about our console native port releases and the features that come alongside them.
Okay.
Finally, we'll show you our new supporter packs, ending with
Maybe
a
they
live
just couldn't fit
Q&A
it all on the
session
screen.
where Ziggy D will ask Path of Exile's game
Oh
director
god.
Mark your questions from
I'm
Twitch
seeing a
chat.
whole lot of quality of
After
life
the
and
live stream,
buffs
we'll drop the full
and
patch
not
notes. I'll hand over to Mark now to introduce
content.
the new league.
We're really innovative with the content in this league.
No
and
PoE
I'm really
2.
excited to see what everyone thinks. So let's just get right into it with the trailer for
Let's
Path of
go.
Exile, Settlers of Kalguur.
Oh, goodbye, chat.
Rayclast is a cursed land. You'd have to be mad to settle here. And
That's the
yet,
beach.
Welcome to King's March. It's not much yet, but with your help, we can.
It is a
erect the
city builder.
greatest
I was
city
right.
Rayclast has
It's a
ever
city
seen.
builder.
We'll need resources
That's the Wildwood.
and savvy planning.
It is a city builder. Holy shit, it's a fucking city builder.
Soon we'll attract settlers, craftsmen,
Recombinators?
Fortune
Holy shit, recombinators are back.
and of course, pirates.
Recombinators, mapping, bosses.
If we prevail,
What the
our
fuck am I
ships will
looking
be
at
heavy
there?
with gold.
That hurt my
We
brain.
hope to achieve the impossible. We hope to build a home.
What? So it's... respec with gold? Okay, they finally fixed the respec issue. Who cares about trade? Nobody cares. I don't care. Nobody does. Gladiator rework. Massive melee rebalance. Endgame improvements. So they put Wildwood in and they did something. Oh, they put Sentinel in. They put Recombinators. Black Market? There was something in between Black Market. My eyes aren't quick enough though. What was that? Fuck, am I going on the
In Path
YouTube
of
and
Exile, Settlers of Kalguur,
rewind?
you will encounter some familiar faces from the Expedition League.
Okay.
Danig, Rog, Tujin, and Gwenin are Kalguuran people who are trying to establish trade between Rayclast and their homeland.
So they got
have
rid of
recruited
Expedition.
many curious
Please.
characters from Rayclast,
Don't make us do it again.
including some you may recognize, but are also seeking help of a powerful exile, like yourself.
Where did he just come from?
You will first encounter Johan, the King's Hand and Lionized Watch. He's there recruiting
Okay.
workers, traders, and exiles. Johan, under the command of the King of Kalguur, has been sent here to build a new city called King's March, which intends to become the hub of commerce between Rayclast and Kalguur.
Okay.
Soon, he will bring you to the planned site for King's March, which you'll notice has humble beginnings as
Where you
just
build
a
your
tavern
city?
in a field. But with your help, it won't stay like this for long. It takes a lot to build a town. The Kalgurans will ask you to seek out resources that can be used to begin construction. On your adventures, you might find minerals such as crimson iron, which are veins of iron that have been overrun with corruption, spawning dangerous foes when you approach.
Why do I feel like this is
Or
Diablo?
perhaps orichalcum, which you will have to liberate from the demons worshipping it. Petrified amber
Thematic.
attracts mindless, blighted enemies, while bismuth has a strong affinity to the elements and causes the area to become unstable.
Oh, this
If
is a
you're lucky,
mapping
you
mechanic.
might find Verisium,
That's what this is.
a material as valuable as it is dangerous, and guarded by very powerful foes.
It's a
Once you defeat
mapping
these monsters,
mechanic.
the deposit will automatically be tagged for mining. But first, we need to get someone to do the hard labor.
Huh?
This is of course a trade expedition and nothing is free. Miners, along with other workers that the Kalgurans have hired, must be
I don't
paid
see any
in
new
cold,
items.
hard gold, which you'll notice is now dropping throughout Rayclast. You will have control about who gets hired into your enterprise. Once you have accumulated some gold, head to the town and talk to the recruiter, Rolf. He's been busy tracking down hardy folk across Rayclast who are looking for work. You'll notice each
Okay.
person has their specialties and a wage cost. It'll be up to you to hire and
Did these
fire
work
as you
passively?
please.
So I want to do it at like
Over the
level
course of the
1.
league, you'll be searching for your perfect
So by the
employees
time
for
I
each
finish the
job.
campaign, I get like loot
Once you have
waiting
them,
for
you
me.
have to keep them paid, safe, and alive, which we'll get into later.
Oh
Here
my
we
god,
have
are these
prospect
escort
who has a
missions?
Specialty in mining. We'll start with that so we can begin to retrieve some of those resources we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
Let's go find some more and put our miner to use.
Gold.
Oh, we've found a vein of orichalcum ore. It's guarded by dangerous demons worshipping a strange shrine. The shrine buffs the demons, giving them power, but once you defeat them, you can seize that power for yourself.
Pale
After
angels
that, we
are
can tag
not
the
to be
ore,
messed with.
and our mining specialist will get to work.
If they're
Soon,
buffed
we
pale
encounter
angels,
a few more deposits.
very
Each with
dangerous.
a different dangerous encounter. After you have tagged the mineral veins, your miners will get to work collecting resources in real time.
Too many
They
clicks.
might
I'm
take
seeing
a
too many
while,
clicks
but will
already.
continue whether you are logged in or not.
Ah,
The work can be sped up by hiring more or better miners, and by upgrading the mining station back in King's March to equip them with advanced pickaxes. Alright, some time has passed and our miners have been able
Okay.
to get the resources back to town. We've also managed to collect some more gold too. We can now upgrade the town and build new structures. There's plenty of options, we just need to decide where to start. I think we'll start with the tavern, the beating heart of King's March.
bro,
It
I
can
think
be
I'm gonna
upgraded
love
instantly
doing
to
all this,
improve
and I think the
recruiter's
community's gonna
prospects.
hate it. But every time
And
I
you can
say that
find
I'm
various
it's
important
wrong, and
NPCs
I
related
hate
to
it, and the community loves it.
Next, we'll upgrade our mining station. You can upgrade this to improve the efficiency of your miners and allocate our newly hired workers to mining.
Bro, it's
You
idle
will
on.
eventually need a smelter, where you can send your ore to turn into more valuable bars. Then we have the disenchanter, where you can bring your magic, rare, or unique items to be added to a queue to be disenchanted over time.
What?
The items will be broken down into thaumaturgic dust, a new resource used for crafting and shipping. We'll get more into that later.
Oh, for recombinators maybe?
And of course, a town needs food. You could invest in farming, where you can select crops to grow and harvest. But don't worry, you won't be manually watering anything. Ah, the wonders of delegation. With all these resources piling
Oh
up,
my
there will
god.
be excess that we can spend. Let's talk about rewards in Settlers of Kalguur. Eventually, you can build
Too
a
much
harbour
information.
and establish shipping routes between a number of different Kalguuran and Karui ports for trade. You'll be able to pile your acquired resources onto these ships and send them to a port of your choosing, where
Okay.
your traders will haggle for the best deals. Each port will return specific
Oh
rewards based on
no,
what
can
you send
traders
them.
like have a chance to
They
like
accept
fail?
all types of resources, but will have a preferred type that they'll currently pay more for.
Well, not like fail,
And
but
you'll
like get
want
you
to
a
get
really
onto
low
this,
price on your
because
ship?
eventually you could be bringing in shipments like this.
No, I didn't see anything
This-
crazy there. That's disgusting. That's
or
pretty good.
Even this.
That's also pretty bad. Oh, all three at the same time. Very
Today,
good.
we're going to trade with Kalguur.
How long does that take?
You'll notice that as we send more
5
resources,
hours? Nah,
this
this
risk
isn't
meter
worth it.
creeps up. Much like the dangers on the shores of Rayclast, there are dangers out at sea. Monsters, pirates,
5
environmental
hours?
hazards.
There's
You'll
no
want to
way.
try keep your shipment safe. You can do this by hiring workers that specialize in shipping.
That's way too
The more
long.
of them you add to the ship, the less risk there will be.
I'm assuming you're getting
Like
the
this
3
gentleman,
things as
who's
well.
famous for fending off even the most dangerous of pirates. Now let's get that shipment going.
Oh my
and we'll
God,
continue
can you
exploring
lose the
Rayclast
ships?
while we wait for its return.
To like pirate
This is
attacks?
the first Path of Exile League that experiments with true real-time mechanics. You can send out shipments, go and have lunch, and come back to your rewards. Many mechanics in the league work this way, so you'll always have some ongoing project or outcome to look
Holy
forward
shit,
to.
they made an idle game.
When your shipment has returned, or met its demise, you'll get notified, and at your leisure you can return to the town to collect your rewards. Our shipment returned safely, so let's go see what we got.
Oh, okay.
They've sent us a unique item alongside
Okay.
our rewards. Perhaps
4
hoping to
exalts for
secure
5
us as a
hours of
loyal
work.
customer for the future. Aside from shipping,
okay.
the Kalguurans are big on their technology. They have hired Isla, a familiar face from the Heist League. She is an engineer who the Kalguurans have employed for a very exciting purpose. You're not the only one who understands how profitable running maps can be. Once at endgame, Isla can help you build a series of Kalguuran modified map devices.
What?
You can then put a queue of maps into them.
What?
If you've hired a few skilled Atlas runners, they will put themselves to work running those maps for you one after another.
What?
Look, more delegation. Once again, you'll be notified when the rewards are ready to be collected.
Wait, can I like put in like...
You can put lots of maps in the queue, so don't feel obliged to go back there.
Can I
all
put
the
like
time.
Guardian maps in? And unique
Be
maps?
careful, though. The difficulty of the map impacts the risk of your workers perishing.
Oh.
Try to pick your best workers, or perhaps just ones you don't like.
I wonder if you
Consider
do
the
like blight
difficulty too.
ravaged maps.
Sometimes it's better to just run it yourself. You'll see there are many benefits to having a whole ass town at your fingertips.
Oh my god, I wonder if you could put
Let's
in
talk about
div card
crafting
farming
services.
like that.
You should definitely consider building a runesmithing table. This is operated by Danik himself, using
Holy
powerful
shit.
Kalguuran blacksmithing arts. He can engrave runic magic
You put
onto
in
your weapons
36
using
or
runes.
39 Mageblood maps.
There are many rune types and combinations to choose from, and you can unlock new crafts that can be applied to your weapons as enchantments. Our design intention here is to take powerful effects you would usually only find on unique items,
Sure, sucks to
like
deal no
this modifier,
physical.
which you might recognize
Minions
from
deal
Doomfletcher's
30%
Prison.
increased damage.
Danig can apply it to your two-hand maces.
Okay.
There are over 100 different special crafting outcomes, ranging from ones very
wonder what that
easily
30%
applied
can
to
be
very
on.
difficult. The rune types can be acquired through trade with Kalguur. or
How many does he have of
defeating powerful
those?
bosses.
He only has 8 of the minion
The
ones.
Kalguuran tech benefits
The
don't end
only one
there.
he didn't have a lot of
We're
was the
also
minion
bringing
one.
back a formerly overpowered crowd favorite,
Oh,
recombination. Isla is trying to master this.
What do they
She
do
just
to
needs
it?
you to help her with getting resources. The system isn't as strong as it used to be, but it still allows you to combine 2 items together, hoping to get the best modifiers of each onto a single item. Between running a town,
What's the nerf on it? It
shipping,
doesn't look
and
nerfed at all.
exploring, you'll be collecting a lot of extra gold. It is now the primary resource for 2 huge new quality of life features that we are putting to test.
Respec?
Firstly, you can use gold to respec passive points.
Okay.
This is a feature from Path of Exile 2 that we've decided just makes sense to port back. The higher level you are, the more expensive it gets.
I wonder how hard
And
it's
the
going to be
next
to
one
respec
is
during the campaign
absolutely
now.
Massive. A currency trade market. The Kalguurans have recruited Faustus, another
Currency
NPC from the Heist
exchange.
League. He allows you to asynchronously buy and sell currency and most other stackable items with other players without the nuisance of
Oh, fuck.
price fixes and people who never respond. All you need to do is select what currency you want, say what you have, and your ideal ratio.
Man,
It works
I thought
kind
he
of
was
like
gonna
a
say-
real-life stock market. Faustus will make the trade happen.
oh,
for
I
you,
thought he was gonna
so
say,
long as there is someone selling on the other end
just change
for the
gold
same
for
rate or
currency.
less. You'll be able to go back to blasting
I'm not gonna be able to
monsters
use
while
that.
Trusty Faustus does the dirty work, notifying you when your currency is ready for collection.
They need to change
All you
what
need
that
to do
is.
pay him a small amount of
Notification.
gold for his time. Cards on the table. This is an experiment to see if this type of asynchronous trading has a place in future Path of Exile releases. We are very excited to see how it goes. Now, given that Faustus is an
There's probably
expert
gonna be
in black
dumping
market
and
trade
stuff that's
shady
gonna happen.
deals, he also provides another service, offering items for gold. The items will generate with random rarity, and on average the modifiers on them are better than normal. This can be a very nice way to
What?
get some targeted items during the campaign.
What?
For serious crafters, it can be a great starting point for making
Are
those
you
elusive
fucking
specific
high?
in-game items, which perhaps you could take to the runesmith
What?
afterwards. It's worth noting that you can invite.
I think that was
Faustus to
better
your
than a
hideout,
belt, any
but
belt
he
I
will
made all
always be
of last
available for
league.
respecking,
All 4 of
currency
those were.
exchange, and black market items. As your town grows, it will attract more attention, good and bad. Settlers of Kalguur features 3 endgame bosses that will close in on your operations.
That guy looks
wanting
lame
a
as
piece of the
fuck.
pie. They might capture and ransom your workers.
That guy looks
even
scary.
your entire ships. You'll have to make some tough decisions. Will you take them on or pay them off? One example of a boss is Sasan, the bandit lord.
I'm gonna be paying a lot of guys
You won't
off
stumble
now.
across this boss by accident. Instead, this unsavory character can come into your town at night and take your Atlas runners hostage, holding them for ransom. What happens next is up to you. Perhaps you'll refuse to negotiate with bandits.
I assume
leading to
this
a
build
fight
isn't
to
that
defeat
good, and
Sasan,
he's dealing
rescue your
quite a bit of
workers.
damage.
If you're not up for the heroics, you might simply pay the ransom in gold.
50k.
Or perhaps these workers were especially
Ah,
disappointed,
fuck them.
and you'll just leave them
Not
for
my
dead
problem.
in true Ray class fashion. They knew what they were signing up for, right? Of course, the heroics might be worth it for other reasons. These bosses can drop new unique items.
Gird shield. Life, block, ward, max chance to
In
block.
sum,
Chance to
Settlers
block
of
his luck.
Kalguur
Yeah, I didn't
is
see
a
the last
very
one.
experimental league with new mechanics that will completely change how you play the core game. We've been sitting on a lot of these
Okay.
ideas for a while, and
The
can't
league
wait to
mechanic
share them
seems
with
like a
you.
lot.
But there's a lot more to this expansion. Let's talk about balance.
People said they were really
Well,
overwhelmed with the last league.
finally
This league
rebalanced
looks
the Gladiator.
insanely overwhelming.
It's been a long time coming. Like before, there are passive skills that allow you to invest in bleeding and block.
Chance to block.
We've
Push
designed
shoulders
new
is
skills
lucky if you
replacing
block.
some of the old
Attack,
ones.
speed, and block.
Like this, War of Attrition, which is
Do
very
1%
handy
more
for
damage.
long
with
sustained
elements,
boss fights.
super. You can use for each second they
Further
open in your
alongside
presence.
the
to a
Gladiator
maximum of
theme,
100.
this new passive allows you to combine different weapon types while dual wielding to get a variety of powerful
Show your
bonuses.
effect. Willing mace.
For
subject.
example, holding a dagger will give you more critical strike chance, while holding a
20%
mace
of
gives you
each is
more area
instant.
of effect. Of course, you could just use Varanastra for all weapon type bonuses. And finally, we have
Axe
a new
Claw.
notable which allows you to invest in the newly added Retaliation skills. These are active skills which require you to meet a certain condition in order to use them. Once you meet that condition, you can unleash devastation
Guard
on your
counters?
foes.
I'm playing a lot of Elden Ring.
Here we have Eviscerate, which requires you to have a shield. Or for those who like to dual wield, Sword Storm, which is great for obliterating bosses. Here we have the Divine Retribution skill. This one has the condition
Okay.
requiring you to block. You can then unleash a devastating spell, causing lightning bolts to strike the ground in an X shape around your target location, doing huge amounts of damage. And of course, in true Path of Exile fashion, there are many avenues to invest in these mechanics further on the passive tree and a new support gem.
Oh.
You are able to increase
Bro, I
the
wonder if
leeway
dual
duration
wielding of
after reaching the
ambidextry is gonna
condition,
be
reduce the cooldowns,
crazy now.
or just increase their damage.
It looks like
The world's
it.
your oyster.
But I don't know if SSF would ever go that.
Gladiator wasn't the only ascendancy class we've changed. As we develop Path of Exile systems, we often find ourselves reusing mechanics, increasing their
hardcore, I
depth,
mean.
and allowing more avenues to invest into them. As such, the Raider Ascendancy class found itself lacking, with many of its passives commonly available elsewhere.
Oh, were they
want our
both getting
Ascendancy
reworked? I
classes
missed
to
that.
always feel like they're pushing the boundaries, allowing you to change your character in ways that are meaningful and ideally unique. As a result, we've straight up removed the Raider, rest in peace, and we've added a new class in its place, the Warden. This class is largely inspired
What
by
in
its
the
predecessor from the Affliction League, with a few changes. The Warden now focuses on elemental attacks, changing the behavior of Shock,
This is gonna be
enhancing
busted.
Freeze, and replacing Ignite with Scorch. There's also a skill that allows you to go ballistic with your elemental
Unbound
damage
Avatar.
periodically. The class also grants
Oh my god,
Bark
there's
Skin,
too much.
which is a skill that can be used to mitigate
Very good
physical
early
damage
game.
from hits. After taking a number of hits, it increases your evasion, making it a great defensive choice.
It was very good while leveling.
Finally, the last thing the Warden can specialize in is tinctures. These
Uh,
are an alternative to flasks from the Affliction League. We're bringing them back with adjusted mechanics.
I don't think this is good enough. No, I don't think this is good enough to replace an
Tinctures can be
Ascendancy.
placed in your belt, replacing flasks. You can inherently only have one tincture active at a time, and it requires a melee weapon to use.
Tinctures
While
weren't even that
activated,
good when it
they
was a
grant a
secondary
powerful buff.
Ascendancy. Charms were
They
just
can
better.
drop as magic items, or be modified with currency to grant extra bonuses.
I don't know. I
Here is
Don't
a
think so.
prismatic tincture. This one increases elemental damage by 100% while active. You'll notice it has two extra effects. One is that it applies mana burn every second. Mana burn is a debuff that builds up while tinctures are active that causes you to lose mana,
yeah.
losing more
Not what I
mana for
want.
each stack. Tinctures also have a cooldown, so once you have disabled one, no other tincture can be enabled for a time.
And if you hit
changes
zero,
make
it
tincture
automatically
use a more
turns off, it
active and
says.
Interesting choice than it was in Affliction. Both mana burn and the cooldown can be modified through modifiers on the tinctures or on the passive skill tree.
And some
Players will
smarter
want to
people than me
maximize their
will
tincture
say if
uptime
this is
for
actually
sure.
good, but right now
Here
it doesn't
we have
look
a
good at
couple
all.
Other tinctures. The Poisonberry tincture is excellent for poison builds. The Rosethorn tincture is the choice for those wanting to deal critical strikes. You might be wondering, with the removal of the Raider, where has the Frenzy Charge investment gone? We've added a Frenzy Charge passive skill to the Deadeye.
Oh, there's no
Replacing
way.
the Rupture
There's no
passive
way.
skill.
You're ever using that tincture page.
On top of Ascendancy classes, we have revisited a number of core mechanics. This time taking pains to ensure easy access through the passive
Breach
tree,
sucks
skill
ass. You
gems,
guys better be
and
changing
simple
something about
items.
this.
We don't want all the powerful mechanics to be hidden behind layers of complexity. Let's just rapid fire through the key points.
Okay.
If you want more detail later, you can read the patch notes, which will be
Okay.
dropped after the live stream. Be sure to let us know what you think. There's a lot of changes, so be prepared for a bit of a shock to the system.
I have anxiety every time you take damage. Stop taking damage.
Firstly, we've made some drastic alterations to melee skills. Let me just rip this band-aid off. Melee totem skill gems have been removed.
Okay. We all knew that was coming.
We're trying to adopt a philosophy with melee going forward that, unlike other builds, it will be far less oriented around set and forget gameplay. You will deal the damage yourself, and you should be rewarded for doing so.
Okay.
To compensate, we have buffed the damage on almost every single melee skill. As the majority
Enough?
of this damage growth comes from gem levels, we have also made them cost more mana as they level, but it's nothing like the mana
Ooh.
costs on spells. Here are some
Ooh.
examples of the damage and costs
That's
before
scary.
and after. Heavy Strike has gone from dealing 313% attack
12
damage
mana.
at gem level 20 to a massive 552% attack damage. It's also worth noting it no longer knocks enemies back.
Oh, okay.
And Sweep has gone from dealing 281% attack damage to now dealing 664% attack damage. at
These
gem
numbers
level
just don't
20.
mean anything to me.
These are just two
I don't-
examples.
I can't
but
tell-
The majority of melee skills are now dealing approximately 75% more damage at level 20. Of course, with
Compared
melee
to
comes close proximity
them
combat,
without
so you need some good defensive options.
totems?
New base types with higher defensive values will now drop throughout the endgame. As you reach yellow, red, and purple maps, you can expect to find higher tier base types in each. For example, Val Regalia and Hubris Circlet are no longer the best in slot items for Energy Shield. There are new base types that surpass them.
Oh.
Combined with some quality changes, which we'll talk about soon, you can now get better items than ever before in these slots. To compensate, we have reduced the amount of flat evasion and armor from the Grace and Determination
Leviathan.
auras, but overall, you're getting more defenses than before. On top of this, we have buff life modifiers on magic and rare
200
equipment.
fucking
You
life.
can now get as high as
So you can get-
189 additional maximum life from a single modifier.
What about
on
hybrid
items,
and
more on other
percent
slots
at the
too.
same time?
Kalm's Heart has also finally been restored to its former glory and
Jesus
once again grants
Christ.
plus 1000 to maximum life.
My AG was wearing that
mentioned quality.
and still died last league.
Quality on weapons and armors is being changed to apply multiplicatively. In other words, weapons with full quality will give 20% more physical damage, and armor with full quality will have 20% more local defenses. For melee, this will mean a damage increase for almost all builds using physical
You
damage.
know what I'm
attacks,
noticing with all
and it
this?
will mean more evasion, armor,
All the
energy
minion
shield,
builds
and
aren't
ward
affected
for
by
all
any of
builds.
these changes. They're all
Endurance
not
charges
getting a
no
buff.
longer grant elemental resistances,
because our
but
wands
instead
don't give
grant
us any
additional
quality or
elemental
anything.
damage reduction,
Stuff.
making it multiplicative with resistances. You can now get 4% per charge, alongside the existing 4% physical damage reduction. To compensate, we have made some changes to the Juggernaut, and various unique items like Eternal Damnation.
Wait, what did you do to
Get more
Juggernaut?
maximum resistances from the tree, specifically around the Marauder class start. These,
Interesting.
of course, can stack with the new elemental mitigation from endurance charges.
Wait,
On top of this, Jewels can now roll maximum
Turn your
elemental
breastdome.
resistances as modifiers.
wow. Res
Since we're
capping
making
looks
elemental mitigation more
really
accessible,
easy.
We've heavily reduced accessibility to physical damage taken as chaos or elemental damage.
This looks like the
Those stats
hardcore
are
league.
still around, but you should not expect to be getting full conversion anymore. All block passives have been buffed, so you can now more easily achieve block cap from just
What?
the passive tree. The Keystone Versatile Combatant has been improved to have less of a penalty to maximum block.
What was that before?
A number
Was
of
that
life leech passives have been buffed to
Derby?
generally allow for more acquisition of maximum leech rate for life.
that seems really good.
Vow Pact has been reinstated to its former glory for instant life leech, but only for melee. We've reworked
Still
Flesh of
insane,
Stone.
still insane.
Previously, this buff skill granted maim and blind, depending
Okay.
on the stance of our character.
Yeah.
Now, while in sand stance, the skill simply provides damage mitigation, becoming more effective the closer you are to
Flat?
enemies.
Flat damage
While in
mitigation?
blood stance, enemies will take more physical damage the closer you are to them. This skill will now greatly favor melee or close range gameplay. Given we're doing a Kalguur league, Ward has also
Juggernaut
received a
seems
bit of attention.
broken.
There are new uniques that grant Ward, and the base restoration of Ward is now faster. To compensate, Olroth's Resolve has been nerfed, but Ward loop builds will still be possible.
I
Anyway,
don't think
that
anyone
was
cares
most
about
of the
ward
purely
unless you're
defensive
ward looping.
changes. Now let's look at some of the offensive and utility-based ones. There are more and better ways to deal with mana as an attacker on the southern hemisphere
okay.
of the passive tree.
I knew it had to be somewhere. They can't just say they cost more mana, get fucked. There had to be a thing.
Wands, daggers, scepters, claws, and staves now have higher critical strike chance values than ever. Wands can go as high as 10% without modifiers. Sandstorm Visage has been made rarer to compensate, instead of reducing its
Man,
power.
nothing about minions
For you wand
at all.
attackers,
Nothing.
wands now have higher attack speed than ever to compensate for their low damage. Wand exclusive skills such as Power Siphon, Kinetic Bolt, and Kinetic Blast now have faster attack times. Impale passives have been revised and in general buffed.
Okay.
The buffs granted by Warcries are now simpler, but more
I think we're
significant
starting Jug.
and more universal to builds. They also now apply to allies by default.
I'm still doing my rule, and
Banners
whatever
have been reworked.
transfigured gem I get,
Instead
I'm
of having
playing.
a reservation
So
cost, they are now free. However,
play
they
jug,
don't grant
roll a
permanent
red
buff.
gem.
Banners
guess.
now need to be placed for the effect to be active. However,
Oh.
once placed, they are far more powerful than before.
Ah, fuck, another minion
Additionally, there are
nerf.
new ways to prolong the effects
Oh, fuck.
and more ways to invest in them than ever before.
Minions got the dickens this patch so far.
Rage has been made more
Maybe they'll
fundamental
turn it
and
around.
discoverable. Rage is now multiplicative attack damage, but no longer inherently grants attack speed or movement speed. It has a new cap, and you can find many new passive clusters that allow you to
Rage,
invest
wow.
into the mechanic.
Wow.
The goal is to make Rage more powerful as a baseline, and less gated behind the use of
Wait.
specific unique items and ascendancy classes.
Isn't that normally a max res node?
Berserk has been nerfed, just so you're aware.
Wait, did they get rid of the max
We have
res node?
changed how bleed
That's
works
normally
too.
there?
You can now find aggravated
Oh no,
bleed
it's
on
up
the
there. It's up
passive
at the
tree.
top. It's right here.
When applied, all bleeds on the enemy will deal damage as if the enemy is moving for the remainder of their duration.
Quinn
The
is
skill and snaring arrow no longer
just
interact with
gasming
bleed,
right now.
so no more will you have to apply bleeds and swap to a bow. You can now achieve the same result using aggravated bleed passives without the annoyance. Rupture from the
Rupture.
Deadeye has been turned into a support gem.
Huh?
We've added the new Overexertion support gem, which highly favors slam builds.
Okay.
Now, it's time to look at a hot topic, Magic Find. In the Settlers of Kalguur expansion, we are going to be removing
Delete
item
quantity.
quantity bonuses from all character items.
Fuck 'em.
This will
Get
not
'em out.
affect existing items in standard leagues.
Remove
Magic Find
it.
is intended to be another axis
Dog
on your
shit.
deck you can scale once you have achieved the power you want.
Get it off
With
my
item
screen.
quantity being only available on unique items, this meant if you wanted to get the most out of it, you had to be playing a very specific
Mm-hmm.
build.
Fuck them.
We still want people to be able to invest into Magic Find, but now only through item rarity. This can be obtained on a number
Yep.
of rare item slots, and
That's the
by
way
a
to go.
much larger number of
100% that's the way to
builds.
go.
What about Ventor's Gamble, you might ask? Here it is now.
Oh,
This is one of the
mana
biggest
reservation
balance patches
efficiency
we've
on
ever
it.
done. I can't promise that
Oh.
existing builds will all be safe. Even we aren't able to predict all the outcomes here.
Mana
nor
reservation
have we even gone
efficiency
into
on
every
Ventress
single
Gamble.
change, just the major ones.
Fuck you. Those
I don't
are
know,
actually
man.
so good now.
Balance is hard. But the sheer number of new, viable options is exciting. Especially for melee.
I wonder if there's new transfigured
and we're
gems.
determined to drag the game in a better direction. Be sure to read the patch notes after this. It's going to be
What
a
fucking
lot.
lazy dev made that chicken climp through the totem?
In 3.24, we
Lazy
overhauled
dev.
the
Ban
in-game
'em.
experience by introducing a new tier of maps and
Okay.
reworking
Oh man, we're not even
We
close
want
to
continue
being
to
done.
improve these systems and introduce more exciting
We're only like
in-game
halfway
content
through
every
this.
league. 3.25 is no exception. Let's check out the myriad of changes coming in Settlers of Kalguur. First up, we are changing many scarabs. We won't go into too much detail here
Okay.
to avoid getting lost in the weeds, but here's a few new ones. Be sure to check out the patch notes after this for more detail.
Intimidation cards, which dropping them off are
Also
stolen
added
by
an
the map
additional map
boss.
device slot, which will be unlocked upon completing your first 10-way Maven encounter.
Interesting.
This simply allows for more combinations of scarabs and maps, resulting in more difficulty and more rewards.
Do you
This
get
is on
all
top of the
6
existing additional
on
slot
beating the
that can be
Crucible, or
unlocked
do you
by
still have to
completing your
complete a
first tier
T17 to get
17
the
There are now 6 map device slots
the
in
5th
total.
or the 6th?
You might have seen our teaser, where we revealed we'll be adding new special encounters to the endgame.
Yeah,
One
wisps.
such encounter is the Nameless Seer, lurking in tier 16
This fucking
and
bitch.
17 maps. This NPC will give you a selection of unique
insane.
items, and you can pick one
To
for
get on
free.
day 1.
In tier
all the
16
items in there.
maps, he now has an additional feature, where you can scry a map. This allows you to swap the divination card drops of the current map with another map on your atlas. Just one caveat. You cannot have the same map be in multiple swaps at the same time. If you want to undo your choice, you can use a scouring orb on either map on your atlas.
That's
We've also made some updates to a couple
Interesting.
of leagues. Blight has been updated with some atlas passive skill changes, and and double anointed amulets can
That
now drop
seems
in
very
Blight
good.
Ravaged maps.
That's
We've
pretty
also
crazy.
introduced a new type of oil that can only drop from blighted and blight ravaged maps.
Yeah, we're specking Blight. We're Blight
Ritual
boys,
has also been
100%.
updated. You can now find one new and many reworked base types,
You're
new
crushed.
unique items,
Hensmark, Affliction, Pacify.
corpses you can use to raise as specters,
Uh,
and occasionally a
not
fragment,
good.
granting access to the King in the Mist's boss
Oh,
fight from
wow.
the Affliction League.
With the amulet?
He will drop a number of unique
Or the
items
jewel, I
that were
mean?
familiar from the League,
Is he coming back with the jewel?
but not that which was taken.
You
As it is now,
motherfucker.
that which was taken away.
Ah, that's the only reason he
However,
was
now drops
good.
a different modular jewel that you might recognize
Oh.
from the Necropolis League.
Oh.
In
Really?
Tier 16 and Tier 17 maps, you can
Man,
now encounter
that's
the
disappointing.
Wildwood, also from the Affliction
This
League.
is gonna be crazy.
In case you missed it, the Wildwood is a mysterious forest fraught with danger.
Keep in mind, you
the
have to be in
darkness, you'll find
T17 or
magical wisps
T16
yearning
maps to
for
do
freedom.
this.
Upon releasing them, they will empower the monsters in your map, promising more danger but more rewards.
This is only in T17,
You
T16.
may also find random sentinels on the ground near the start of your maps.
I believe
From
the Sentinels are the same as well.
They work in a similar way to before. They aren't items. but you can
Zizarin
click on
is
them
fucking
and then
going
they can be
crazy. He's got
activated in that
Recombinators
area
and Sentinel.
At any time of your choosing. Upon
Zizarin must be
activation,
going
they will
crazy.
buff monsters around you, increasing their difficulty and rewards.
Oh, they're dropping
Here's one
catalysts.
for those who like to live dangerously. You may occasionally find a reflective mist from the Kalandra League. It has two outcomes. It could drop a jewelry item with randomly enhanced or inverted modifier values.
Wow.
It can give a reflecting mist item, which can be used on an existing piece of jewelry to perform the same action at a time of your choosing.
Wow.
There's many other small changes to League content.
Wow,
We're
wow,
removing the
wow.
first 15 most boring waves of the simulacrum and rebalancing its rewards to improve the chances of finding unique jewels.
I wonder if you can mirror
We're also adding
eventers.
some of the beasts from Einhar's Memory of Harvest Beasts to the core pool. This includes the Black Morrigan.
Oh, six
In
links.
other news, we've added a set of new chisel types, which can be applied
What?
to your maps to get different bonuses.
The
While
fuck
the
is
Cartographer's
this?
chisel still increases item quantity,
Okay.
there are new ones that now increase rarity,
Okay.
pack size,
Okay.
increased chance for currency items, divination cards, and
okay.
scarabs. It's also worth
okay.
mentioning that chisels now apply 20% quality per chisel to white
Keep in mind that we don't have
10%
quality
to yellow
anymore.
maps, and 5% to red
Or
maps and
quantity
higher.
anymore, so that 20%
Unique
quantity
maps
is going to
still
be
require the
big.
full 20 chisels. Also, only one type of chisel can be applied to a
100%
map
more
at
currency.
a time.
100% more currency with div
During
boxes and
3.24,
duplicating
we
it?
made a change to tier 17 maps that allowed them to be rerolled with chaos orbs. We are now expanding the currency types that can be used on them to also include currencies like chisels and Val orbs. Ultimately, the only restriction tier 17 maps now have is that explicit modifiers cannot be removed
Why
from them.
don't you just write that as a
We have
line
also
at
revised
the
the
end
difficulty of these maps,
Cannot be
as
removed.
they didn't quite hit the mark.
instead of putting
The
chaos,
monsters in them
chisel,
now have
valor,
substantially
just say
less
cannot be
life
removed.
and deal less damage, meaning tier 17 maps now better fit into the progression between pinnacle and uber pinnacle content.
They were hard. I ripped my
Lastly,
character to 'em.
we've adjusted the drop rate of Valdo's puzzle boxes. Previously, we were adapting its drop
This
rate
seems like
based
a
on the possible
funny
outcomes
change.
selected by supporters.
This is in the teasers.
So many supporters really wanted Mage Bloods, so the box was hardly dropping. Thus, we have drastically increased the drop rate of the box, but reduced the probability of getting chase unique items from it, like Mage Blood.
You're never getting anything good, ever.
Overall, we have
Just
taken
dog
care
shit.
not to reduce the number of Mage Bloods total in the economy. We figured it was better to have more tickets.
What about
for
all the
fun
people who did
rather
dog
than
shit items with
seeing
really
many
hard
boxes
shit to
in a
troll?
league.
Is that all we're going to be
We've
getting
been
now?
hard at work improving the Path of Exile
Alright,
experience
that's
on
it. That's the
consoles.
whole thing. We don't need to watch anymore.
With native ports for the Xbox Series consoles already being released,
Guess we'll have to
and
watch this.
PS5 on
So
the
we want
near
to see the
horizon,
Q&A, huh?
The game now takes full advantage of the console hardware. Loading times have been reduced even further. Pop-in has
I
been
can now
reduced,
game it.
and textures
30
won't start
FPS.
unloading in heavy scenes.
On a console.
Furthermore, overall visual fidelity has been improved for all new generation consoles.
One thing I
Half of
do
it
think
now
is I think the
uses
UI
highest available
on the bottom
resolution
looks better.
textures and water effects.
I think the skills at the top and the mana bar look horrible, but I think the skills in the class look better
with an additional
in
anti-aliasing pass
Xbox
on top of that.
or console or whatever this is.
With these upgrades, we also support variable refresh rate TVs and monitors on PlayStation 5 and on all Xbox consoles.
I
In the
truly wonder how
options,
many
players
people
can
play it
now
on
choose
console.
Which aspect of visual fidelity they want to focus on: resolution, image quality, or target frame rate. In 3.24, we added some new encounters and secrets to the campaign. In Settlers of Kalguur, we're adding even more.
I enjoyed them
We're
all.
not going to
I
spoil
liked
them
them.
all here, but keep an eye out for anything unfamiliar on your adventures.
Totems.
Who knows what you'll find?
They haven't mentioned it.
I know, but still. There's an underground bunker underneath the refinery, guarded by powerful robots. I wonder what's been hidden away here. How do I unlock this mysterious door? What riches must lay inside? Blighted growths have appeared in the gardens and sewers of Sarn.
So how early can you
A
get
vault
that?
containing riches can be found
Oh, in
the
Sarn, tier
reliquary.
3.
As you might have seen in our teasers, there's
Or
a
tier
slew
three,
of
act
quality
three.
of life features we've been working on. Here's a quick summary. You'll
Man, I
no
wonder
longer
if
need to
Ancestor's
interact
back.
with waypoints to unlock them. You can just walk by and they'll activate.
There's a dead totem right there. Look.
When using keyboard and mouse, you'll be able to pick up items from further away. We're adding
Oh, it
static
just
life
dawned
bars
on
to some
me.
bosses.
They're not bringing
Not all
Totem
bosses will
League
have them
back.
just yet, but we'll
It's
be
just
adding
dead
more over
totems
time.
for the
can now
meme
see which
of dead
divination
totems.
cards drop in each map by
No,
hovering
Totem
over them
League.
on your
Why?
When you
They're
die,
not bringing it
you
back.
can now resurrect without having to reactivate all your reservation effects, like auras and heralds. You can
I
start
do,
harvesting
because I have to go
helmets
get
with
them
just
again when I
single
start a new
action.
character when I die.
The amount of quality provided by currency items like
Jesus
whetstones
Christ,
is now
those
based
fucking
on the
boots.
item level, rather than item rarity. Those currencies now apply a 20% quality to very low-level items.
That is an
with that amount
insane.
reducing as the item level increases.
I think we're gonna hit peak speed
Next up,
runs because of
we're
this
going to
stuff.
be talking about our new League supporter packs. Today, we're launching two
Yes,
new
Mark,
series of
you can have
supporter
my
packs,
credit card
the
information.
Paladin and Penance packs. Each tier
No
contains
hideout.
the pack's
No
full
hideout.
face value in points.
Nothing to do with the hideout,
alongside
please.
Several exclusive microtransactions. These packs are only available for the duration of the Settlers of Kalguur League and will leave the store forever when it ends. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are
I miss
purely
Chris
cosmetic
Wilson.
and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Paladin series of supporter packs
It is a
contains
fucking
6
hideout.
exclusive microtransactions.
Doesn't look that good though.
Adorn your weapon or
Looks
shield
stupid
with
as
the
fuck. What
Paladin
the hell?
weapon effect.
The shield.
Make a show of leveling up with the Harpy Flyover level up effect.
Okay. Not as
Equipping
good
the
as mine,
Divine
but
Paladin armor set will periodically cause slain enemies to be consecrated and laid to rest.
I'm not
This set
impressed.
also comes with a matching back attachment.
I'm very
Both
not
the
impressed.
helmet and back attachment have options to display the radiant glow, or not. You pick. The Divine Judgment finisher effect locks onto unique enemies before obliterating them with a
that's
laser
kinda
from
sick.
the heavens. May your critical hits resonate across Rayclast with the Cleric's
What
Bell
the
back
fuck?
attachment. Invite your friends to spend a day at the races in the Vasteri Racecourse hideout. Add rowers to the track to race them against each other,
And you can fucking gamble.
or you can just spectate from the sidelines. The Penance Pack series also has 6
Wait, that
exclusive
isn't, balanced.
microtransactions.
They can't all start on the same
The
line
Penance
because the
back
row on the
attachment
outside has to
equipped, a
run
repentant
farther.
soul is chained to your back and lashed with lightning. Ouch.
Okay.
Place none other than the Trial Master in your hideout and have him comment on your chaos
A classic, but far fairer now than in ancient times.
and Val crafting attempts.
Your life
I like this one a lot better so far. I like this one a
Even
lot
keeps
better.
record of how many Chaos and Val orbs you've used in your hideout during the league, or across all leagues.
That's actually nice for SSF,
Blood
because you can
stains
see.
your armor the more life you lose when wearing the Acolyte's Penance armor set.
Eh, I'm not impressed.
Both the helmet and back attachment have options to display the radiant glow, or not. You pick. The The Zealot's
Is it a
Madness
pet?
portal effect
Oh,
fragments
it's a
as
portal.
you near it.
Eh.
The Cauldron map device boils maps, fragments, and scarabs placed into it, keeping a tally of how many have been thrown into
The tier 1 of
pot
this
in the
pack
current
is
league
like way
or
better
across
than the
all
rest.
leagues. The Exiled Squire pets follow in your footsteps, hyping you up for battles,
No sweat for you, boss.
providing pessimistic commentary,
Okay, I think we're getting this pack. This pack seems way better than the other one.
or voicing their disdain for you to bring you down a peg.
About time you kicked the bucket.
How
These
triggering that
packs
would
are
be
now
on my
available for
death.
purchase on both PC and console.
Okay.
And will remain so
I'll
during
buy
Path
the-
of Exile, Settlers
What did he
of
say?
Kalguur.
Assassin bat?
Meanwhile,
Penance
the Solar
pack?
and Eldritch packs leave the store forever at the launch of Settlers of Kalguur League. So now's your last chance to purchase them.
I bought my
Thank
turtle.
you so much for your ongoing support. Now, we have one more thing to announce before getting into the
Fucking
Q&A.
PoE too.
We are soon going to be running a small closed beta test for Path of Exile 2. We have been taking signups for the Path of Exile 2 beta tests over at pathofexile2.com.
Ooh, I got
We will
my
only be selecting a
drop.
very limited
Claim my
number
drop.
of people for this first test, but if you want to make sure that you are considered, then head over to the website and register
Drop
your
is
email
claimed.
address now. We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D. Afterwards, we'll post Path of
I don't know if
Exile
it's first come,
Settlers of
first served, so I'm
Kalguur's
doing it right
full
now.
patch notes. With release at the end of next week, our community team will be posting
website
crucial
crashed.
information you'll need for Settlers of Kalguur's release.
I can't open the
Keep an eye
website.
on the
It's
news.
crashed.
On release weekend, we expect to launch the new mystery box and this season's
Yeah,
Chaos
the
Vault.
website's crashed.
Thanks for joining us today and checking out our latest developments. We're looking forward to building
That's
our towns
funny.
alongside you, trying new builds, slaying monsters, and exploring new in-game strategies next week. We'll begin the Q&A shortly, so please get your questions ready.
I can't do anything. It's just constantly refreshed. I'm refreshing. It's dead. Oh. Register. I'm registering. I've registered. Please check your email to confirm. Register another email? Haha, why